Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. So today we're celebrating a new partnership with the Big Brothers and Sisters program. And they'll be partnering with us, the Boston Police Department, and pretty much in a mentorship program. As we all know, you can't arrest problems away, but you should be working collaboratively to help out the families with challenges and needs. Me, I grew up raised by a single parent. So I know what it is to be raised by the community and to receive a helping hand. And that's exactly what we're doing today. And I'd like to thank Mayor Walsh for this introduction to Big Brothers and Sisters and starting this collaborative to work in partnership with Commissioner Evans and the Boston Police Department and the men and women who will serve as mentors, and as well work collaboratively with the community to make it all a better place here in Boston. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce everyone to a person you all know, Mayor Walsh.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you very much, Chief, and I appreciate that introduction and everything you do here. I want to thank Commissioner Evans as well. I want to thank Wendy Foster, from President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I want to thank Officer Lopes as well, who is a big brother here, and we'll be discussing a little more about him. I'm excited to make this exciting announcement here in the city of Boston. The National Bigs in Blue initiative is a wonderful fit for our city. Big Brother and Big Sisters is a great partner in our work to grow meaningful relationships through mentorships in our city. Mentorship is at the core of everything that we do with our youth. Every person deserves a positive, impacted adult role model who can help them improve their life. The influence that the adults have on these young people are tremendous. Here in Boston, we're committed to working to grow these relationships all across the city of Boston. And what better mentors do we have than the Boston Police Department? The men and women in blue. We also are joined by Deputy Nora Bastian's with us. I want to thank the deputy for being with us today as well. These officers behind me do this work. They do this work every single day. They do this work in the summer. They do this work in the winter. They do this work in communities that need mentorships, and I want to thank them for their work. And what we're doing here today is formalizing an agreement. The commitment that our police officers have to lift people up in our city is building relationships, continues to make them great role models. Bringing together law enforcement and young people in a positive way is going to have a tremendous impact on the city of Boston. Boston certainly leads in community police relations. This mentorship initiative will build off that work. Our goal is that when young people see police in their neighborhoods, they won't be afraid. And they also will have a caring, trusting adult that they'll be able to sit and talk to. This is something that President Obama really focused on in his last 4 years as President of the United States of America. Boston, we partnered up with My Brother's Keeper initiative, creating 1,300 mentors in the city of Boston to go across the different neighborhoods of the city. What we're doing today is formalizing an agreement between the Boston Police Department and using the police officers that we have working on the same streets that their mentees will be. I know that many officers have already taken out and working in their communities, talking to young people, playing basketball, playing sports, helping them understand and helping them focus on their future goals. Today, this effort takes us another step further. Our goal is to recruit 25 Boston police officers as mentors in the month of January, which is National Mentoring Month. And that is just the beginning. I'm confident that we're going to meet this goal because of who we have as police officers in our city. And I know that we'll probably even surpass this goal. I encourage all of our officers to sign up in the Bigs in Blue program. This is one of the best things that we can do and you can do for a young person in our city. To listen to them, to spend time with them, and just be there for them. And the beautiful part about mentorship is you start the program out by trying to assist young people. And what inevitably happens is that those young people help the adults with their life. And it truly is a partnership. I look forward as we continue to grow this program throughout the city of Boston and the influence this program is going to have throughout the city of Boston. I have the great honor today to introduce Wendy Foster from Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had a meeting with Wendy in my office about 2 weeks ago, And we talked about this program. This is not something that I necessarily made happen. Wendy had already reached out to the Boston Police Department, already began the process of setting this up. And we talked about the impact of what Wendy wants to do with Big Brothers Big Sisters as far as growing her organization and creating more opportunities for mentorships. And I said to her, that's important because we see a difference already in our city. We see a difference, and if you look at the stats across the city, and you look at all crime stats in over a 3-year period, I think it's down, crime's down overall 20%. If you look at national average of homicides, we're down in the city of Boston. You look at shootings, we're down. Look at all the stats. But the stat that's the most important stat that no one seems to focus on is that in the last 2 years, arrests in the city of Boston are down 25%. The way we eliminate arrests is by creating relationships and trust in young people. And I can't see any better way of doing that than what we're doing here today. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Wendy Foster.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Wendy Foster, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Massachusetts Bay. I want to start by thanking Mayor Walsh and Commissioner Evans for their deep commitment to our city's youth. We are extraordinarily fortunate to have their leadership in our city. Big Brothers Big Sisters is the nation's largest and oldest youth mentoring organization, and as the largest local affiliate of Big Brothers Big Sisters in Massachusetts, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Massachusetts Bay has been connecting caring adults and youth who need adult support for almost 70 years. And we're currently serving more than 2,500 children in eastern Massachusetts, half of them living in the city of Boston. We want all children, but especially those who are under-resourced and at risk, to have the support of caring adults that they need to thrive and to fulfill their potential. Study after study shows that having a relationship with a caring adult outside the home is a game changer, and especially for under-resourced youth. And that's why we're so excited about this new partnership with the Boston Police Department that will be part of the National Big Brothers Big Sisters Bigs in Blue program. Big Brothers Big Sisters understands that in today's climate, we need to create more bridges, more understanding between law enforcement and the communities that they're serving in. And we believe that the only way that we're going to better understand each other across any divide that we face is by being in relationship with one another. One-to-one relationships matter. And so Bigs in Blue in Boston is going to pair police officers with youth in long-lasting one-to-one mentoring relationships. They're going to provide both positive and supportive relationships for the youth, but also help build greater bonds of trust and understanding between police and the families in community. And we're pleased that this program both supports BPD's nation leadership in community policing and community dialogue, but it also supports the mayor's commitment to encouraging more adults to come forward and mentor our city's youth. Mayor Walsh knows, like we do, that mentoring is fun, it's easy, it's rewarding, and with just a little bit of time, you can make an extraordinary difference in the life of a child. Mayor Walsh launched the Mayor's Mentoring Movement about a year ago with a big, hairy goal to bring 1,000 new adults in the city into the lives of our city's youth. And I'm very pleased to say that Big Brothers Big Sisters of Massachusetts Bay has been able to match more than 500 new children with a mentor because of the mayor's efforts, and that overall the effort is way over its initial goal, with 1,300 or more children already matched and counting. So let me tell you a little bit about how the Bigs in Blue Boston program is going to work. As you heard, Boston Police are committing to 25 officers initially being matched with children in the city, and we hope to get that done in January, and I too believe we will. It's National Mentoring Month, and so this is a wonderful time to be elevating this topic. We'll be collaborating with BPD to reach out to officers and precincts and help them understand all of the opportunities that they do have to mentor in our organization. We have community-based programs, school and site site-based programs, and the like. In addition, we'll be working with BPD to have them help us identify children in the city that they come into contact with every day who could use the help of a caring, supportive adult. It'll be wonderful to know about those kids that may not be on our radar screen already. And then finally, we're hoping that we'll be finding all sorts of other opportunities to engage police and the community through the events that our organization hosts throughout the year. Once an officer steps forward and wants to become a big brother or a big sister, we will jump into action. We have a long-standing and very thorough process of helping adults understand what it is to be a mentor and make sure that they are ready and prepared when they are matched ultimately with a child. We thoughtfully put pairs together. We really get to know the adult and the child and the family, and we think about their personality and their preferences and their interests to ensure that the conditions for a long-lasting friendship are in place when that match is made. So each one is custom-made and just right for each adult. Then the mentor and mentee, the big and the little, will spend time together, a couple hours, a couple times each month, doing things that all of us would enjoy doing. Going out to play catch, grabbing a bite to eat, maybe going ice skating, getting to know the city better. Time spent with a child in doing fun things together is so important and so impactful. Kids learn so much from watching the example of adults. Kids get so much benefit from having an opportunity to engage with adults about their hopes, their dreams. Adults have an opportunity to mentor children just by sharing their own life experience and helping them understand how they got from childhood to adulthood. And we know that children with a big brother or a big sister are far more likely to feel confident, to do better in school, to graduate from high school, to have high aspirations, and ultimately go on to college. In the end of the day, it's all about helping our fantastic and wonderful kids in Boston to be everything that they can be, but they can't be that without the help of adults. This program is going to be really, really impactful, and it is true as well that I believe the mentors will be wonderfully impacted as well. There isn't a big brother or big sister in our program who doesn't say, I actually think I'm getting more out of this than I'm giving. It comes right back at the adults in so many wonderful ways. In a little while, you're going to get to hear from Officer Jeff Lopes, who is already a big brother in the program, about what his experience is all about. But in closing, I would just like, again, to thank the Mayor and Commissioner Evans, Chief Gross, for their incredible leadership. We are really proud to be partnered with the Mayor, the Mayor's office, with the Boston Public Schools, with the Boston Health Commission, with the Boston Centers for Children and Families, and with the Boston Housing Authority, and now with the BPD to work together to make sure that all of our kids can fulfill their potential and follow their dreams. Thank you, and I'd like to introduce Officer Lopes. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Nope, I want to introduce Commissioner Evans. My bad, excuse me.
Fine.
Come on up.
Doesn't matter what on. Thank you. And again, I want to thank everyone for all their work they did on the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I think in our line of work, we see a lot of kids out there in need of, a big brother and big sister. Over the course of the last 2 summers especially, we've gone on numerous peace walks throughout the neighborhoods, and one of the things that's real striking to me is on some real hot nights, we see some young kids hanging around who really don't have a whole lot, who maybe could be going to the beach, or who could be going out to a restaurant, or someone could be taking them somewhere. I know we have places in programs like Camp Harborview, but to have an officer there and to sort of build that bond with them is a relationship that not only will help the child, but will help us establish positive, relationships with the community. And I think we see it more than everything. Anyone out there, how there's a lot of kids out there who need some, some mentoring. And I look back, growing up in South Boston, I didn't have a whole lot, and I was very fortunate to have 4 big brothers. I lost my parents when I was very young, and my brothers were there for me. They made sure I was fed, they made sure I studied, they made sure I got through high school, and so no one knows how important it is to have big brothers more than me. Unfortunately, I didn't have any big sisters, but they pointed me in the right direction. I always look back, and I honestly say I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them leading me in the direction. I use that as a role model because there's a lot of kids out there very much like me that if one of our officers can work with them and make sure they're doing their homework and making sure they're engaged in sports and learning the skills they need to get into a good high school and then go on to college. I see how well our officers work with the kids. I seen it last month when we did Shop with a Cop down at Target, and some of you were there. The joy of seeing those kids' faces walking down the aisles with our cops hand in hand is something that shows how well this program can work. I never seen our officers smile so much when they were helping those kids, buying them Christmas presents. We're out there, and our success in locking up less kids is all about building relationships. And the mayor talked about it. The statistic we're most proud of is 25% less arrests. That's working with the kids in the schools. That's working with them after school. That's doing home visits. And indirectly, the numbers have come down. The violence is down. We had 15 less shootings victims last year. Violent crime was down 4%. As the mayor said, over the last 3 years, Part 1 crime is down 20%. That's not by being up in kids' faces. That's not by locking them up. That's doing exactly what Big Brothers and Big Sisters wants to do. That's working with the kids, getting them the education, getting them the opportunities, and building positive relationships. And I think that's what we're all about in this city. We're about community policing. And I always say, you look across this country, I don't think anyone does more and a better job than working with the community. And this is just another initiative to show our commitment to working with the youth in our community. So thank you. And at this time, now it's time to introduce the most important person, a big brother, Jeff Lopes, so I want to thank him. He could be doing a lot of other things, but he realizes that it's our mission to make sure every young kid in this city has opportunities and they get a good education and they have a positive role model. And you'll hear from him. There's no better positive role model than Jeff. So, Jeff, your turn now, buddy.
Talking about being on the spot, huh? Come on, big brother.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the nice words. I first wanted to start by thanking Big Brothers Big Sisters, Mayor Walsh, Commissioner Evans, and Chief Gross for having me here today. I grew up in Dorchester, in the Bowden Street area of Dorchester, and growing up, I seen a lot of my friends fall into the wrong path due to the lack of mentorship, due to the lack of people to look up to. And that's what motivated me to be a Big Brother. It's actually what motivated me to be a police officer. Being a Big Brother has been a phenomenal experience. I'm paired with a little whose name is Jose. And we have had a great relationship. It started off in a rough spot because we didn't really know each other. I was law enforcement. He had been in some trouble, but I kind of guided him to the right place, and today we have a tremendous relationship. I think this partnership between Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and the police department is tremendous because the work we do in the community every day is what Big Brothers and Big Sisters is striving for. It's building the connections, becoming mentors, being positive role models, and it's something that we can do with the Bigs in Blue program. As a mentor, I've learned a lot from my little. I've learned how to be a mentor. At first you're frustrated when your little doesn't want to listen to you or you feel like he doesn't understand you, but as you start to develop that relationship, you start to understand that it's a process. It's a process to get through youth who have been through challenges in life and who are overcoming a lot of obstacles. And we have a lot of youth in the city who come from single-parent homes that don't have young men or young women to look up to. And I think that this program will be significant in making that happen. Yeah, that's all I have. Being a part of Big Brother Big Sisters has been phenomenal. And I think it's going to be a great program. I think police officers are actually going to enjoy being Big Brothers and being mentors. And I think as we start to do outreach with the various districts in the department and the various units in the department, people will start to get engaged and people will start to really appreciate the program. Thank you. At
this time, if you'd like, ask you to present any questions that you have for any of us here on this topic.
Is this unprecedented? I mean, have other Big Brother, Big Sister groups in other states done this before, or?
This is a national Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and Boston joins a number of other cities, yes, that have also opted to engage with the community in the same way.
With the police department?
Yes, with the police department. Yeah. And the program is called Bigs in Blue. Ours is Bigs in Blue Boston.
Kind of like me.
We'll become the best, though.
Absolutely.
This isn't the first time, though, correct, that Big Brothers Big Sisters have been partnered with the police department, has it? Or is it?
In Boston, yes. In a formal partnership like this, yes, it is.
I look forward to the partnership.
You good?
One more question. Just on how the program will work, you mentioned that it will be a long-term, long-lasting relationship. Is that while these kids go through high school and graduate, is there a certain time frame for this program? How exactly will the relationship part of it work, and is there a timeline for how long it will go on?
So we ask a volunteer in any of our programs to commit at least a year to start. And at the end of that year, we have a good conversation, talk about where we are, and almost all of them proceed forward. It's individual for every match, and most of them are in the 3+ year range.
And there's no kind of compensation for the police officers, this is strictly voluntary?
Voluntary.
I'd like to hear more about how long you've been with your little brother, and
Do you wanna stand
how
up?
old is he, a little bit about him.
Okay.
Is he here?
He's not here, no. So he's in school, the more important thing to be at. So I've been with Big Brother Big Sister since March of 2015, and it's been a great experience. If you have any specific questions, I can answer them.
Why did you?
Why did I join? Like I said, growing up, a lot of my friends fell into the wrong path because they didn't have positive role models, they didn't have people to look up to, and I thought that going into mentorship, I could play a significant role in the life of a little.
What's some of the background of your little? What are some of the challenges that he faces?
I'd say some of the challenges is, I don't know, he's a tough kid. When I first met him, he was, very shielded, wanted to be alone, didn't really want to go out with people, didn't really want to hang out. Not much of a personality, but as we've been paired up, we've been able to work on that. He also was, getting in some trouble based on, becoming friends with the wrong crowd, and we were able to overcome that.
And how old is he?
He's 15 now. Yeah.
Is there a downside for some of these kids, maybe, socially at school, their friends don't like that they have a relationship with a police officer like this?
So when I look at being a big, I don't look at it as being a police officer. I look at it as being a person, and that's what's the important thing. You build a relationship on a personal level. So it's not because I'm a police officer. That's not why I'm a mentor. It's because I care about him. I care about youth. So it's building that relationship on a personal level. So being a police officer sometimes doesn't even have to come up when he tells his friends that he has a big brother. So it's important to just develop that relationship on a personal level.
Does he come from a single parent household?
He does.
What neighborhood is he from?
Dorchester as well.
Is he a single mom?
Yes.
All right, thanks, folks.
Can I just want to say one quick thing to the reporters. As you're writing this story, he's 15 years old, so he can read the newspaper. So just, be careful what you put in the paper. Because we have a 15-year-old kid that's going to be reading it, and people might not know his name, but just be sensitive when you're adding those facts in the story, if you don't mind. And the press as well, with the media, with the cameras. Just be sensitive to the fact that you're dealing with a 15-year-old boy living in a neighborhood, police officers mentoring him. We don't want to, you don't want it to turn him the other way. Thank you.